Good morning, Flosstube. It is Monday, September 9th. I am Helen D. Thank you for tuning in today. It's bright and early. My husband is home today. He just biked by with my son on the window on their way to school. So he said that he would take him to school today so that I could film early. I don't know if you remember a couple videos ago, right in the middle of my video, all this construction noise started, and I thought they were working on the paving the driveway across the street. That was apparently working on the new patio across the street. But don't you worry, because the pavers are coming today. They came on Friday and brought half their equipment in, ripped up the rest of the stones. So I'm just waiting for them to pull through and actually do some paving work today. So I told him, I want to get this done. I have everything set out. And he said, well, I'll take them over. Perfect, because that buys me 20 more minutes before they show up. How is everyone? The end of summer was very busy. I realized it was at least 3 weeks ago since I made a regular video. I was part of Cheryl McKinney's series, the Flosstube collaboration. So that was the last video that I put out. And that was fun. So I was able to do an interview with Misty of Luminous Fiber Arts to talk about her fabrics. And we had a blast. Once we figured out the technology, we had a blast. And thank you for all the comments on that video. It was a lot of fun to put together. I did have to edit though, and it always kills me that I used to edit video as a big part of my job, but with real editing software. And it was easy and I loved it. It was fun. And now I'm using like Movie Maker, which is terrible to get anything to do what you want it to do. So I do my very best to not edit because it's not worth the hassle. We finished up summer, school started. We made it to the beach. We always try and meet a friend from New Hampshire, my college roommate in New Hampshire. She's in New Hampshire. We meet in southern Maine and spend a day at the beach, which got rained out one day, but we did make it happen. So we did that. Then it was back to school. Finally, my son loves school, which is great. He hates change. So the end of the school year is always hard because he's anxious knowing that summer is coming and things will be different. And then the end of summer is hard because he knows that school is coming, and even though he loves school, it's a change and it will be different, and it takes a bit to get into his new routines. So last week was week 1. I think he was a little disappointed they didn't do more, but it takes a few days to settle into your classrooms and meet your teachers and get your notebooks ready and do all that stuff. And then this week, I have a feeling it will be okay. Here we go. Let's get started, which he'll be happy with. So last week, he was at school. I pulled out the drawer. Pam and Steph have their under the bed box. I have the drawer of shame. So I opened the drawer to see what had gotten finished up either earlier in the year that was kind of a fall or a Halloween or a Christmas piece, or over the summer that was finished but hadn't been FFO'd. So, because now's the time. So I pulled all those things out, and I had 7 things that were fall and Halloween. 2 are gifts, so I had 5 things to see what I could get through. So I've been doing some FFOing last week. I cleaned my desk off. We were in there this weekend, and I told my husband, I did clean this off, but then I pulled everything out. So now it's even messier than it was, but it has to be messy to do my thing, and then I'll clean it back off again. So it's still messy. But I got 4 of them done. So I'm going to start with these. 3 I've already shown on Instagram, so you may have seen them. So first one, this is I Love Fall by Frosted Pumpkin. I can never quite get his screen. I use my husband's phone. You know how we were having or we weren't, but I was having all those problems with my phone having glitches. It's just my phone. I use his phone and it's perfectly fine. So since he's home today, great. I need your phone. So this one I finished on another of those wood blocks. It's a 6x6 block. I picked this one up at Walmart, but I've seen them at Joann's, and probably the other craft stores have them now. So this is on magnets. I can just pop it off. This is on 16 count Heartland, which is one of the new fabrics. It's a little lighter than doubloon, like it's a little more golden. So that one is done. I used the called for, except I did sub out, and I don't remember what I used. I subbed out a red for a variegated red. I may have posted it on Instagram when I posted the finish. I don't remember, because that happened over summer and gone. Okay, next up was the autumn piece. This is from the Prairie Schooler Prairie Seasons leaflet. The spring one I used this same frame for. It's actually a picture frame, but it's magnetic. It's metal. So I just put my magnets on the back and it magneted right over the opening to pop that on there. And then I used a little flower and just a couple simple picks, and they're on a magnet too, so I can swap this out. I haven't done winter and summer yet, but they might be two of the next starts I do for the Very Prairie Year sale, because I started September, so I have 3 more, October, November, December, and I was thinking I might start a Christmas piece in October, so I have a little longer to work on it, and then winter and summer, and that would finish out the year. It's been nice to have that out. I had spring out, and then I didn't get to summer, and I missed having that out with summer on it, so that means it's time to get it done. All right, so this next piece, I showed on Instagram the like finish. This is Black Cat Hollow by Barbara Anna, but it's part 1, except the words were from part 2. But I decided not to do the whole thing, so I added the words, and then I made these little pots just to kind of ground it, I guess, and make it look like it meant to be there. I have no idea what fabric this is. It was a gift from my sister. I want to say it was like walnut, and it might be Ship's Manor or Fabrics by LJ. This piece is hard for me because I started it, and then we lost a cat when I was working on it, and I couldn't even look at it. So it all got thrown in a bag, and then I decided I'm done. I can't even look at it. I put everything away, put all my floss away. It was just rolled up in a box. So when I pulled it back out, I thought, I could finish that, except I'd changed all the colors, and I had no idea what I used. So I just decided to end it this way. So this little wooden piece I got on clearance at Hobby Lobby last year, and it just says Happy Halloween, and it has a pedestal, and it was just the right size. So I cut a piece of sticky board, and I just rounded the edges. Like I rounded one side, and then used the piece I cut to kind of, do the others so they'd be the same. And I cinched it on there. My ruffles are actually sandwiched. They're on their own board, which, look, you can tell I had to do them twice because that's like ripped up board with glue on it. So, but it fits on there nice, and it's been nice to have up. So that one is done. And then the last one is my favorite. This is Scary Things. I think it's just called Scary Things, but it's Scary Things October Brings. It's by Silver Creek Sampling. It's stitched on mystery Aida that came from a mystery grab bag. So I have no idea. It's fiberlicious, if that's helpful to anyone. It's a greeny gray. I changed some of the colors to work with the fabric. And then I decided to make a cube and to put a hat on it. And it came out great. It's kind of a thick one. I had my husband cut 2 pieces of the foam because I couldn't get one the right size. I can't cut styrofoam. The sound of styrofoam is my kryptonite and I can't handle it. So he cuts it for me. And then this little hat, I found at Target in the dollar spot. And this like tool kind of came off the front to cover your eyes. So I just seam rippered that off and folded it in half and tucked it underneath. So I think it came out great. I pinned everything on so it could all be taken apart if I wanted to. But I'm really happy with how that one came out. So that was my last FFO. I also have some FOs. It was busy. End of fall was busy. So they have not been ironed. I apologize. They're in the line. 2 of these were in the line to be finished last week. It just didn't happen. So first up is Autumn Row. This might have been a new start since my last video. So I think you can see it. It's probably not in focus. There you go. So Autumn Row by Bent Creek. I swapped out some colors just because I didn't have the called for, so I picked an orange that I liked, and I think I darkened the red up a little bit. So this will go on my board that the other rows were on. This is on Doubloon, my color of the year. My Helen D. Pantone color of the year is apparently Doubloon, mostly because I bought a big piece to cut off the strips for this, which I hate to waste fabric. And I know these are really skinny, so I cut them really skinny. And then I sew some fabric on the sides so it will fit in my Q-snap. Because this fabric, white fabric, cost a lot less than my Aida fabric. And when I cut all these skinny pieces off, I had like a chunk of fabric on the end that was just the right size for 5x7 things and ornaments and smaller things. So that's what I've been working my way through. So that one's done. The other finish, I kind of thought I had finished this last week, or last video, but I don't know. I might have. This is Autumn Acres Farm, a modified Autumn Acres Farm from Hands On Design and Priscilla Lane. I just did the bottom. I kind of remember telling you guys, and maybe I just hadn't finished filling it in. I have this shelf for them. This is on 14 count dusk. This one was on a 14 count that I hand dyed and it shrunk more. This one is not as shrunk, so I was afraid if I did the full thing, it wouldn't fit very well. So I ended up just doing the bottom. I played around with these sunflowers to kind of make it even because this little pumpkin vine is up high, so I needed something else up high. And then there was a chicken on the truck, but because I took the chickens out everywhere else because they were on the top of the design, I just changed that. I picked one of the other small pumpkins and popped it up there. And I switched the colors. I used all the called for colors. Would have been helpful if I had something to put this on. But like I wanted more of the light blue, so I just moved them around some. You know, I made an orange one blue and a gray one orange. So that's on my list to be finished as well, and I did find fabric for that. So then this weekend, I had an unexpected finish, which if I were nice to you, I would have ironed, but didn't happen. I haven't even had coffee. No coffee, no ironing. I finished Tinglys. I still have to iron and put the buttons on because each of the little charts had 2, 3, 4 buttons. So I need to add the buttons on. But the rest of it is done. Guess what? This one's on doubloon too. So we'll work our way up. This stitched up so fast. I mean, I've been working on it all year, but really that's because I did like 1 a month. Some months I do 2. Then I didn't touch it for 2 months. Now, my only problem with this is that the white, like that skeleton, doesn't show up great. In person, you can see it better in the ghost. So what I did is I used, like this house was supposed to be white. And I used, I believe it's old blue paint, a Gentle Arts. It's a very, very pale blue. So I subbed that in for some of the white and then just used it kind of throughout. I threw it in over here and there so that it looked like it belonged. I will say, so this chart is, I don't know, 6 or 8 like little double flip charts. They each have 2. And then on the Lizzie Kate website is the template, the free template border. It has it has this line at the top, and I think these little bits were on it, and it kind of shows you where things go. I had a heck of a time figuring out the placement of a couple of these because you kind of have to corner off where your stitching is on the chart to figure out, to match it up. I'm sure this is off, but no one's going to know. I can't even figure out where it's off, so no one's going to know. I originally was thinking a wall hanging for this, but then I found this metal piece that I'd picked up on clearance at Michael's since I started it, that it's a perfect fit, so I might use that instead. So that's all my FFOs and my finishes. We're 17 minutes in. See, I got stuff today. So, whips. I've been busy. Some of this stuff has only been like gotten a little bit of love, but oh, this is a finish. This is another finish. This is my next Christmas ornament, the Britter Kitty cats. I don't know if you can tell, but I use that étoile floss for the hat because this is a very, very, very pale green and white was not showing up on that. I'm like, I don't know what you're thinking. The next one I started, I did on a darker green so that the white would show up. So I have 2 of those done, 3 more to go. So that will get done. I'm just trying to plug through like 1 a month. I worked on my Ink Circles map. Everything was stuck. This isn't going to look like much because I'm filling in the border. There's my other coastline. I have all the top done, all the down bottom done, and like boop, a quarter. So I'm just kind of filling in. The last prompt was the name, which we have charted out, but won't take that long to stitch. So I thought I'm just going to work on the border. I'm not even on the side that the name's going to go on yet anyway. So I'll work my way over. And then the next prompt this month's is a compass rose, which again, I'll sketch out. I like to sketch mine out because it's easier on my brain. But I might finish the border before I stitch that. New start, which I was hoping to get done for fall, is the chock full, the harvest. I started with the jar. This one I'm using Dusk 16 count. Cat fights, sister fights. I don't know if you can hear those, but it's better than construction. So that one I'm using the called for. Not chalk. I don't bother with the chalk. I'm using 3865. The next, I was working on this last time. I finished the third section of Hello Pumpkin. So this one is caught up, and the next one comes out this weekend. I love these colors. So there's that one. This month was the pumpkin, the apple, the acorn, like this section. So just the top. This is on this Plus Fog. This is a 14 count, so it's a little big. So one more on that. I don't really have a finishing idea for this one. I have this frame that might work. We'll see. Another new start. So my stitching group, we are doing Our Lasting Friendship by Blackbird. We're doing this one here as like a round robin. So the plan is everyone will stitch this inner border and the words of their own. And then we'll pass them around, and on everyone's that you get, you'll stitch like a couple motifs or a big motif. There's 8 of us. So we'll kind of fill in the motifs and put your initials in. And then when you get yours back, you'll put your outer border on. So we're not starting that until October, but I was playing with my colors because school had started and it was quiet. And I could think. So I started my border. Impressive. This is Gentle Arts Lagoon. So it's variegated. Yeah, Gentle Arts Lagoon. It's like greens and blues. I chose different colors, which is not going to look like much because they're in my baggies. But I'm using blues and greens and some pinks. Not the called for, because my fabric, the called for is Legacy, but mine is Sterling, which is a gray, but it's a green. It's a definite green gray. So I got to start on that. Barely fits in that bag. And then my last bag, oh, last night I started. Hold on, because it's one of the Prairie Schooler reprints. And to try not to trash it, I leave it in the plastic, but I turned it around. These reprints, man. They're so flimsy. Here's my biggest problem with the reprints. I typically don't stitch from my chart anyway. I make a working copy. When you make a working copy of some of these reprints, some of them are fine. Some of them, like this one, the background lines, the grid lines, are so light that when you make your working copy, they don't copy. So then you're trying to count, and there's no lines. So, excuse me. That's what happened with this one. So then I just fold it inside out and put it back in this little plastic thing so that I can try not to trash it. So this is Sweeping Cobwebs. I just started this one. This is the piece that Cobweb Corner is doing the stitch along with. They have a Facebook group, so I can link that below. Some people are like done because they started it the 24th of August. It's been a couple weeks, but I just got to mine. So there's my impressive start. I'm using, this is a different color fabric for me. It's called Fresco. It's a Picture This Plus. It was one of the new ones, like, you know, new to the 1, 2, 3 stitch. So I bought a small piece to try it. it does not look a thing like what the picture looks like. The picture looked like more of a gray, and this is like taupe. So mine is going to look a little different because I decided I'm doing mine as kind of a small. So this big one here, I'm doing to the words. So I'll do that top witch in the moon and the words. And then over where her head is, I haven't decided what I'm doing in there. I may try and put in this cobweb. Or I have another schooler chart with some bats on it. And I may put some bats in there. We'll see. I picked my own colors too. This one, it's like 3 colors. So what did I end up with? Colonial Copper, black, and a Victorian motto called Gold Rush. That's what I'll do the moon in. So I have a start. I have a start on that. It's going to need to be dealt with. So that's what I've been working on. And when you pull it all out, it seems like all I've done the last month is stitch. But I promise you I have done other things. My tiny little pile I have left is Holland Gifts. So apparently when I was doing all this stitching, I was not shopping. So that's good. So I have 2 gifts. The first one is I want to give away from Basic Stitches. I'm just turning them so you can see. From Jamie and Jordan. They had made, I wish this would focus. They had made their own needle minders. So now I'm part of the basic bunch. I told them though I got my needle minders, and it was time for me to color the old grays. I'm like, do I have to go blonde? I don't know if I could pull that off. I don't think I could pull that off. So she said I didn't, so that's good. Because I'm back to spiced hazelnut according to the box. Be gray again in 2 weeks. And then Lynette at Homesteading on the Home Front, she had a friend that was passing on a lot of her stuff because she's just not stitching because she can't see to do it. So she had a few Halloween charts that she thought I would enjoy. I love this card. I asked her if it was one of her bees, and she said it was one of her Virginia bees. So this was from the last time she had bees. So she sent on Silver Creek. I think this is just called Halloween. Put a hat on it. And this one, which I'm not gonna pronounce for you, but it's cute. So thank you very much. I had to get this. This is the new hands-on design, Autumn Skies. So it comes with both pieces. I love this one. And I have a finishing idea for this one. Will it get done this fall? We'll see. And then the other 3, I'm so glad I found these. When we were doing Common Threaded Stitcher online, which I totally could not keep up with, it was a lot. They asked about unicorn charts. And I don't have a bunch of unicorn charts. I mean, they're the same ones everyone has. If they ever reprint, was it the summer blackbird one with the bird with the flag, I would snap that up. And, you know, those kind of things that I think a lot of us would grab. So these charts were on my unicorn list, not these 3 specific. So I love these Pine Mountain typography charts. I picked these 3 up on eBay. I know these are not out of print. You can get them, but they only sell them in a kit. And you have 2 options. You have the kit with the pillow form, which I'm never going to use. If you guys could look in my living room right now, I'm sure there's couch pillows on the floor. So I'm never going to use the pillow form. Or there's a linen kit. Well, I'm not going to use that either. So I don't want to invest, and they're kind of pricey for the size of the chart that they are. It's a 64 by 92 chart, right? So it's like a 5 by 7 chart. To pay $25 for a chart like that because it comes with linen or a pillow form that I'm not going to use just seems a little outrageous. So I was thrilled. These never come up. They never come up on eBay. They never come up on the unload sites. So all 3 of these happened to come up. They were $5 each, and I was happy to take them. I think that's it. 30 minutes. I thought this would be long, but I think I was talking fast. What else is going on? I signed up for Frugal Empire. I wasn't planning on it. When Lynette mentioned earlier in the summer that they were going to do one in Albany, I thought, oh, that's a long ride. I'm not big on driving in cities. Then when we went on our trip this summer, I don't remember if we drove by Albany, if there was a sign, like we were kind of over that way. And I thought, that's not that bad. You know, we haven't been in the car how long? I think it's 5 hours from here. And with friends, like if you had a car full, I'm like, that wouldn't be too bad. So I signed up for Frugal Empire. I think by now it's all sold out. It's another small one. So that'll be fun. I'm excited for that. And I hit 3,000 subscribers. Shocking. And I thank each and every one of you that keeps coming back and watching my videos. I have a plan for a giveaway. I was not able to pull it together for this time. So next video, I'll hopefully have that together. I need to do some more finishing. I made a list of things that I've started and I'd like to get done before the end of the year. That's the plan. That worked well when I made a list of my whips that I wanted to do before Mania, because then I could really focus on them. So I'm going to focus on getting some of those done. Oh, and my mug. This is my, one of the Owl Crate mugs, the Harry Potter mugs, with Hagrid's Hut. Oh, and I signed up for the Harry Potter swap. Candy Stitches and Minty Stitcher are doing a Harry Potter swap. I don't know what the deadline was to sign up, but I did it last year and it was great, so I signed up for that again. Squeeze that in. All right, I am going to leave you be. Have a great rest of your day. I'll get everything picked back up. Maybe next video, I put up the fall stuff. The I Love Fall goes right there. I'll have to do another kind of walkthrough once everything's up. It's not like a home tour, because other than the shelves where my stuff goes, I'm not home tour worthy. So we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.